Well, thank you for joining me today, Tillmann. Today we have Tillmann from Plutonians. The IGO is gonna happen right now. It's I think it's gonna start in 1 hour, so please go ahead and go buy it. First of all, I just want to say Seedify is a gaming launchpad where you have to buy to have at least 250 S funds in order to participate in the lottery system, or 1,000 S funds to be able to buy the guaranteed allocation. And as for us, the Seedify HODLers, we are a non-related company with Seedify, so we just do AMAs because we like you guys to know about the projects Seedify launches, and we do also many things on our Telegram groups. And that's all from my part because they already know me from for the AMAs. So Tilma, please, can you introduce yourself in some minutes and some sentences, please?
Yeah, no problem. Happy to. I'm Tillmann. I'm the CTO of Plutonians, and I also do a bit of writing and game design on there as well. But it's quite a large team, so I definitely can't take all the credit. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and talk about the project.
Thank you. So, starting with the project, if you had 2 minutes to talk about Plutonians and why people should be part of it, what would you say?
I don't know if we can fit it in 2 minutes, but I'll do my best. We're really excited about Plutonians. I think in terms of what differentiates us, I guess we're coming at this from the game and gameplay side first. So that's why we started with the VR demo, and kind of maybe rather than kind of start with a marketplace or something like that, we start with the VR demo because we believe that the metaverse is inseparable from VR by definition. But yeah, we're really excited. We like to believe that we are a true metaverse project in that we are opening it up with various tools and different things and lots of stuff that's going to be announced next week. That really bring in that community participation. So we're excited about the project. But yeah, it's a primarily a spaceship based metaverse
Okay.
game.
So you guys heard. Stay tuned. There's going to happen a lot of things next week. So, I know there are a lot of metaverse and a lot of projects in the blockchain gaming space. Do you think there's another project similar to Plutonians, and why do you think Plutonians outstand them? If not,
Actually,
just say
yeah,
don't, and that's it.
yeah. Actually, it's a really good question. I don't actually think there is a similar project. Look, obviously, there is Star Atlas and some other kind of metaverse games, but we're yet to see we're yet to see gameplay. We're yet to actually be able to jump in. So not to say they're not going to release something amazing. They've got some really beautiful art, but Plutonians is really focused on the gameplay side of things. We want to lower that barrier to entry for real gamers. So people might be jumping into Plutonians not knowing anything about crypto.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, and without going on too much, we also have the game editing tools, and we've got a lot going on. So yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine that as you said, that there is game or at least a demo for the game because as you talked about Star Atlas, there isn't anything about them, and that happens with a lot of games. So having a game that has a demo at least, that's very good and very
Yeah.
promising for every player that wants to join the Plutonian verse. Or that I think it's pretty cool. And now talking about the lore in game, is the story important in the game? Does it have an importance, or is just something you just put because people usually like to read the stories?
Yeah. story is a huge part of the game, and our writing team has grown so fast. It's kind of crazy, and maybe we should bring a writer along to the next one of these for sure, to kind of expand more on the actual lore.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, again, it is kind of self-referential and self-aware in terms of being a metaverse project in the lore. There is already quite a lot of lore on our Medium, so I encourage everyone to check that out. But yeah, we are kind of weaving the story throughout the metaverse, and again, that's not to say that's the only way in to the game. We will have our official. We will have the content that comes out of the studio, Fabrica, but we are also. We're also keenly aware that a lot of the creativity is yet to come from the community. So, yeah.
So, but yeah, you say that the community is going to be able to write some lore of the game?
Well, the community is already aware that the team and the writers are always across the community and what's going on. And what happens in crypto and what happens in the community will often get kind of incorporated into the game.
Okay.
And even to the point where we have a 21 million mint hidden currency, which will power may or may not power a dark net or a dark market in the game, for example. So we're kind of incorporating the lore of crypto into the lore of the game.
So that's cool. That's cool about
We'd like to blur that line.
For the community. Okay. For everyone that wants to play the game, do they need to buy an NFT, or is the game free to play?
It's free to play. That was actually some really important feedback we got early on from the community, and that was, they're seeing all these metaverse games come out. They're seeing, they're seeing these play to earn games come out. They're like, we don't want to pay. Number one, we might not even be able to afford to play, a $1,200 NFT to start the game. But then when we get in there, like, are we just going to get blown up by someone who has a bigger ship, who can afford a bigger ship? So that, and again, this really comes back to our focus on gameplay. We really want to lower that barrier to entry, and there'll be opportunities for that, and kind of show off your ships. But yeah, gameplay is really important. We believe if you don't have good gameplay, it's not really a game.
Yeah, basically.
The free, the first NFT is free. Yeah, you'll be able to mint your get your cargo pilot license and get flying.
So everybody here listening, you can start playing as soon as possible.
I should also add the VR demo that you currently can play on the site. It runs in browser and on mobile as well. But that VR demo is slated to become the test flight facility for the NFTs when that does go live. So, yeah, you won't have to buy one to take it for a spin, take it for a test drive. Yeah,
that's cool. So, guys, go ahead, go to the webpage, and you can start with the VR demo. And now talking about it's in the space. How are players going to be able to travel through the space? And I think there is some kind of fuel. If I run out of fuel, will I be alone in the space and someone has to come to save me, or how does it work?
It's funny because a game that we're drawing heavy influence from, Escape Velocity, is a very, very old game. Can't even play it anymore. It's on PowerPC. But they actually had that kind of as a feature. You had the potential to get stuck between destinations. I guess there's two modes of flying. There's kind of the real-time flight where you are literally in the spaceship flying around, as you see in the demo. But there is also jump flights. So you might say pick up some cargo from the moon and have a transport mission to go. So you might pick up some cargo on the moon and have to take it to Mars, and that you can either fly there, might take a very long time. It's real time, so that would probably take a long time to get from the moon to Mars. But you can also jump, and it'll cost a bit extra in the fuel. Yeah, in the fuel token.
Okay. So now we have our spaceships. Can we upgrade our spaceships, or what determines if our spaceship is good or bad?
Good question. I can confirm the spaceships will have RNG. So, not all spaceships will be created equal. And that's really important. That's a really important reason why we have the test flight facility. You can try it out first, see if you like it. You might prefer something that goes a bit faster, or you might prefer something that has a bit better handling, etc. But there will be upgrade components as well that you'll be able to add in the ship configurator.
Okay. So now talking about the VR, you say that it's quite important for the project. How are you going to implement it? Do we need some device to use it, and what devices will it support?
Yeah, so another great question, and similar to that kind of the problem with affordability with that first NFT. That was another. This is another kind of crucial point point of feedback that came from the community. They're like, yeah, we love Metaverse, we love VR, but some of us don't have it yet. So the VR demo you see on the site now, that will work in Chrome and also also even on mobile. So if you have one of these, you can plug in your mobile phone and even play it on that. So we've tried to keep it as multi-screen as possible, and the game itself will be built in Web XR and then eventually Web GPU. So yeah.
Okay. Also now about the Metaverse. Why is your Metaverse so special? What makes it unique about it?
What makes our Metaverse special? Well, I think that I personally believe that the Metaverse should be open source and it should be compatible. So we hope that Plutonian spaceships will be able to be ordered in. Oh, there's a video.
No, it's me playing. It's me playing.
It's replaying. We hope that Plutonian spaceships will be supported in other games, and we're doing obviously the Metaverse is kind of an ongoing effort, and it's a global effort. There's no real standards yet, but we're doing our best to make sure that everything another Metaverse project needs to support Plutonian ships will be contained, kind of self-contained in each NFT file. Okay. So we're using like meters per second and kilogram mass, etc. So try and make it work.
Hi James.
Apologies.
Yeah, just one question. I just while playing the VR demo, it came to my mind. Are we going to play it in first person or third person?
That's a good question. Yeah, absolutely. Great question.
Two modes. Yeah.
Sorry,
so there's the first person view, which you can see in the VR demo. There's also the top-down shooter, which is literally kind of top-down. And again, we're kind of casting as wide a net as we can, so that we will be ready to take advantage of technologies as they emerge. Because it's no use skating to where the puck already is. So, for example, AR is a question we get often. And the NFTs, they're GLTF files. They already supported in AR out of the box. But actually flying it around, you probably won't be first person in AR. But we will have this kind of top down version. It should be released any day now. Which will give you kind of a different view. It'll play out more like a chessboard. and
Okay.
where the community goes with that, and where where the team kind of takes that, that's still up for grabs. Yeah. We do make mention to Homeworld a lot though. So.
Okay, and now going into one of the biggest thing, well, the biggest, most important thing about every game right now in the blockchain gaming, how are players going to be able to earn through the game?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I can probably jump in there. I mean, look,
Yeah.
part of the, I guess, attraction of Plutonians is that we're really gamifying the whole ecosystem. So really going to be underpinning it with for one, users will be able to stake their PLD, which is their Plutonian DAO tokens, and also that will open up a renting and borrowing platform for NFT spaceships. So, you could probably use the example where someone's amassed a small fleet of NFT spaceships, and they could be a uni student and need a break from the screen, or they just might want to earn some passive income. So ideally they can stake PLD, they'll earn APR on that as well, but that also opens the ability to actually rent out or lease out their NFT spaceships. So other users in the game that couldn't necessarily afford that spaceship and they wanted that pimped out ride will be able to borrow that. This is obviously, future desired state. This is something that will be integrated into our Unreal Engine iteration of the game. So, obviously we are building in a lot of sort of DeFi sticky elements to make it attractive, but also, even in, looking even forward past that Unreal Game Engine iteration, we're also already exploring, job roles and different things that users can actually sort of really get immersed into the gameplay and the Plutonians metaverse and its expansions, and really sort of, are there roles that could be available? And that's what Till and I have been discussing over the last number of weeks. Obviously, our main focus is standing up the TDS that Till was just learning, speaking about. But also, how do we keep materializing better game features along the way, and really sort of pushing them out at a pace that's sort of digestible. We don't want to sort of go to market with showing all of our whole hand as such. We've got a lot of components and features that will be unlocked over different iterations of the game, and as that continues to evolve, we'll be
and also community feedback, which
absolutely.
We're definitely open to integrating. We always say on the team, it doesn't matter where a good idea comes from if it's a good idea.
Absolutely.
We keep it really flat like that. And I'd probably add one more thing to the question about jobs, because it's a great question, because the way we see it, with automation especially coming in, a lot of jobs will be in the metaverse. So when it gets to that point, having a fun game or having a game that's actually fun and enjoyable, it becomes a quality of life issue. And my younger brother is actually a Sherpa in Destiny 2, for example, and he makes good money doing that. But he loves playing the game as well. It's not a grind. And also, Bungie is not paying him, so there's never this like kind of relationship where there's this constant sell pressure from the actual kind of studio. We really want to avoid that. But kind of, again, this is kind of standing up a world, standing up an economy. Yeah. It's going to take everyone, especially the community.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There are obviously a lot of other earn functionalities within the game.
Yeah.
So I was just sort of
in crypto.
I was just talking to the renting and borrowing platform. So there are other features where users can purvey their own assets as well on a black market NFT marketplace that gets stood up after a certain game tenure, but also playing the game and playing out missions. Players will have the ability to earn. Look, what we are designing at the moment is still, I guess we've got an idea of how our in-game economy will work and what that blueprint looks like. But obviously, to keep that gameplay fair and to keep it realistic on a
Yeah.
emissions perspective from the token standpoint. We are designing it so users or players can earn. We get asked a lot. What can they earn per month per user and over how many hours? It's sort of a formula that we're definitely working on. It's not that we haven't considered it, but again, we are sort of integrating these other fundamental features that are really DeFi bound, if you like. So there are a lot of other sort of features in our economy, the in-game economy, that we need to consider. So we will be putting out articles sort of alluding to those play to earn sort of how much
really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. You talked about the marketplace. Where are players going to be able to trade their NFTs? And if you plan to do some scholarship, do you have already a partnership with any team?
That's a good question.
I'm not sure if we can announce it just yet.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
We do have some really exciting announcements coming up this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we
want to keep some things that we can drip feed to the socials and keep the momentum running. But look, definitely in regards to scholarships, I think we can touch on that though. I mean, scholarships are really designed for games that are not desirable to play. We believe, and we truly believe that most games that need to offer scholarships have a model where they pay their players. We believe our product will be not only desirable to play, but also will have that attractive GameFi appeal as well. So we don't generally believe that we are going to utilize the scholarship model as such. In regards to speaking to guilds, we have been in some conversations with some great guilds. We do have a few guilds on board already, but we've got a different type of relationship than, say, Axie Infinity would have with a guild to what Plutonians is going to have with the guild. We will obviously try to appeal to the gamers in those guilds because they bring sometimes a network ready to play your game. But again, our idea is to attract the masses by appeal, not monetary sort of and payment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Also about the marketplace, I think there are some. First of all, we're gonna start first with the tokens of the game. Can you elaborate how does the two tokens work? The RSCP and the PLD work.
Mm-hmm.
What is the main utility of both of them?
Yeah, I mean, do you want me to field that one?
I could lead.
Yeah, sure.
So RPC, Republic Credits, is the main in-game token or medium of exchange. So that'll probably get a workout, especially in relation to, say, buying ships, buying components. Mm-hmm. PLD is the governance token, but we actually have some really special stuff planned for that from day one, especially around staking. But also, I guess we can also talk briefly about something that hasn't been announced yet, and that's the Plutonians labs. So what we found was, amongst the team, there's a lot of kind of exploration in terms of user interface, that kind of human-computer interface work. So, for example, especially the Oculus controllers, for example, like they've got gyros, and there was a little experiment kind of created where you have these giant cannons on the sides of the ship, and you can actually move them around and stuff. And little kind of thought experiments like that, they get built as a little bit of a test, like an exploration, but they're not quite production ready. But again, and this is really kind of where we want to open up more to the community, give the community more access to the team. We saw an opportunity there to launch our labs. So Plutonians labs will kind of host these little experiments along the way, but then also be kind of a testing ground for the governance token as well. So we got plans for both tokens.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, look, it'd probably be a good opportunity, George, to actually jump in and sort of talk about that utility from the get-go that we've got programmed already. So in regards to the PLD, you will be able to stake it immediately. So it has got instant utility. A couple of things we found when we were sort of researching other projects that have gone to market with the dual token sort of economy, if you like, is that, you know, their governance tokens or DAO tokens generally didn't have utility from the get-go, and their in-game utility token really outperformed the governance token as a result, because generally the in-game token did have some sort of utility. So like Till sort of gravitated towards, the PLD will have staking utility outside of the game immediately at TGE, which will allow users to actually earn a better NFT spaceship. So this is something that we'll release in the next few days before TGE, and really sort of put our marketing efforts behind it, because it's designed to have utility for a couple of use cases for our own team, for our own price discovery, and also to create utility immediately. Now that Plutonian DAO will form an imperative part of our governance system that will be standing up, but also once the game is active and has that Plutonian DAO in it, it will open up, as I mentioned earlier, the right to actually lease, rent out and borrow spaceships. So RPC from the get-go will also have immediate utility outside of the game, and that will be available to stake and earn APR and other fun items. So we've definitely sort of designed.
Yeah, there's also a lot of secrets to discover.
Yeah, absolutely. So we won't give everything away.
Yeah, we can't go over everything, but yeah.
The beauty is that users that will obviously get 50% in each token when they purchase any allocation, they'll get to really appreciate some really good magnifiers and some really good reasons to hodl, if you like, and actually put their tokens to work. You know, obviously, it's everyone's right to sell them in the open market or whatever gets unlocked. But, you know, we believe that we're really standing up something that's attractive for them to actually hodl, become part of the community, become immersed in Plutonians Metaverse, and really sort of hit the ground running, because, you know, there's nothing worse than sort of releasing a project and having a token with no utility. It's sort of, it's dead in the water. So that's what we've really sort of gone that extra mile to sort of design something that has utility straight.
Same with the NFTs, right, James? Like we want to do it, but we want to make sure that there's a reason for it in the game. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. And that's the exact reason why we haven't led with NFT marketplace either. We've got NFTs that are completely different to other NFTs out there in the market, and you know, good things take time to actually marinate and cook up well.
Okay. And now going to the question I wanted to ask before, is in the marketplace that that we are going to buy the in-game token, like the fuel and things like that? Or where are we going to buy that?
I think you're talking about plutonium.
It's PU238. Yeah.
PU238. Yeah.
In-game fuel. Yeah. Look, there's a couple of ways that you can earn PU238. One of them is staking RPC token in the game, but you'll be able to purchase it as well with PLD or RPC. So there are different ways, and obviously, you know, if you're staking RPC to earn PU238, what it really is it is a rewards token as well as an inflationary token. It's burning when you actually use it as in-game fuel, it will burn. So
you need to burn the token to fuel your ship. Yeah.
So we really,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
I
mean, obviously, you know, when we're talking about emissions with our RPC and PLD, we really need to take into consideration when we're offering APR and rewards that, you know, you really need to be able to have that balancing act, and hence why we got PU238. In regards to your question about the marketplace, so we are standing up an official marketplace in March, probably around the end of March. And that will be the official Plutonians NFT marketplace. But in the game, users after a certain tenure of playing the game will be able to unlock an underground black market NFT marketplace, if you like. And that's the one where users will be able to actually purvey their own assets on. So we won't be, well, there will be an element.
Without giving too much away. No spoilers.
Yeah, but users will be able to sell their own NFTs on there at will, pretty much. So really open up another creativity stage for our community, and will be NFT designers and creators to sort of stand up their goods and really sort of create expansions of the Plutonians metaverse, if you like.
Okay. And now about the security issues. Who is going to do the security audit, and how are you going to prevent the fraudulent use of the NFTs, or if someone do some griefing or things like that, how are you going to prevent it?
If they do some drifting?
Griefing.
Griefing.
Griefing in game. Look, I mean, Destiny 2 is, mics off by default for exactly that reason, right? But yeah, look, I think it's a metaverse game. Ultimately, we want to give players the mute button, and beyond that, I mean, look, it's the wild metaverse, isn't it?
The wild metaverse, Crypto West.
There are two game modes. There's one game mode which is like the safe mode, which will allow players to just enjoy the story at their own pace, and kind of collect the in-game assets and upgrade their ships. And then there will be another game mode which is anarchy mode, and that's you're racing for pink slips. You can disable someone's ship, board it, raid it, but vice versa. You might get raided yourself. So we're looking forward to we're really looking forward to exploring all of this potential that's kind of just waiting. For grabs.
Yeah, because obviously there's different types of gamers, and each mode will appeal to a different set. In regards to our penetration testing, and our bug bounties and smart contract auditing, our smart contract auditing will be done through RD auditors, who I've used quite a lot in the past on other projects. We will potentially be doing dual audits. Two. Yep. And obviously, Certic's a great promotional tool as well as an auditing company. In regards to, penetration testing, we do have in-house, really great devs that will be, sort of testing out our game servers that we stand up, and a lot of other elements. So a lot of that will be done in-house. We're not allergic to using an outfit like Hellborn if we need to, if we can't sort of cope with that in-house. But yeah, that's pretty much who we're using.
Okay, thank you for answering all my questions. And now we're gonna go with the community questions. So guys, put your question on the live chat, and they will appear here. Well, today I'm on top, not on bottom, so it would be to the side of James.
Yes.
And also remember, there's going to be there's a giveaway. Please join. The code will be shared in a few moments by our beloved Sebastian. So thank you for answering, and we can just start with the community questions already.
Sounds great.
So Alejandro asked, can you explain about the community created levels in the game? Will they be incentivized like getting a royalty when the game level is played?
That's a great question. Yeah, we are exploring the most meaningful way to do that. And again, we will probably lean on the DAO to drive a lot of that decision making, because ultimately, the community, it's the community's game. We're just building it. So
yeah. That's a really good question, because it's something that we really are exploring in the team. And look, again, to sort of expand on that as well, we do have a treasury set up for the purpose of building our team, our dynamics into the future as well. And we also see that, you know, if someone stands up an amazing level, you know, we might onboard them or give them time with our own devs.
If people are doing great work, we're
Yeah.
definitely going to reward that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that. However, I'll ask later about the one thing about that question. Why did you choose Solana? Because it will not be easy for you to go cross-chain as it would have been in Binance Smart Chain, Polygon,
Yeah.
AVAX.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
could probably take that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look, we see what's going on, and we see kind of other games being stood up, but a lot of the games are kind of turn-based, or they kind of make some sort of concession to accommodate the capabilities of the chain that they're on. But when we started playing around with the Solana blockchain and reading the docs and testing it out, we pretty quickly realized that it was something special, and it was fast enough and performant enough and capable enough to do the kind of real-time game that we want to do. So at the moment, you know, and as we always say, we're not allergic to cross-chain. We'd definitely be open to exploring that in the future. But at the moment, Solana is really the only chain that's capable of what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. About the question before, where are players going to be able to do the levels?
That'll be in the tool set we stand up. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the game editing tools end of March.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If you said it.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
There's a lot of moving
There's a lot
pieces.
coming in March. Yeah.
Where is the Plutonians roadmap now? Are all targets in accordance with the current roadmap? And what are the next steps that will be taken in the future?
Yeah.
This is a question. Yeah, this is a question we've been getting a lot recently. We really need to. We've been tasking our designers to essentially translate the roadmap into a public, kind of a nice public version. Yeah, and tokenomics as well.
Okay.
In case anyone wants to ask that as a follow-up question.
Yeah. It has been answered already.
We've got a very heavy deck, and it's essentially a white paper. But people keep asking for the white paper, so we're actually transposing it into an actual white paper for people to read through. Yeah.
We do have a light paper version that's out.
We have a light paper as well.
Yeah. It is already out in the public. It has got our roadmap as well. Look, in regards to that question, we're on track. We did pivot slightly with the TDS, but only because we wanted to polish it, and we did just have a couple new hires that enabled us to really take it to a new level. So hence why Till and the team are standing up Plutonians Labs for that very purpose. Yeah. And we think that, you know, the extra several days that it took is definitely worth the wait. You know, that's obviously something that we're standing up before TGE, and we wanted to get it right. You know, it's not like we're going to make people wait an extra month. Everything else has been on track. You know, obviously we stood up the VR demo back in December. You know, obviously it was really well received. I think, I don't know what the hits are on it lately, but we were getting like up to
5,000 a day at one point. On
yeah,
the demo.
people playing it. So yeah, really refreshing. I think people are really excited that we sort of stood up something that they can actually play and sort of get immersed in from the get-go.
Yeah. I think gaming's not a zero-sum game either. You know, there's some people who just don't get it. They're like, there's nothing to do. I fly around and it's like, okay, well, yeah, you obviously didn't find the Easter egg. But then there's other feedback we've got from the community, which has been really great. You know, there was actually one person on Twitter who said, "Hey, look, I jump in the spaceship every day, and I don't do anything. I just fly around and chill, listen to the radio." So,
like Flight Simulator, no, right?
Yeah. So exactly. So look, as long as we can keep that momentum and energy going, that's great.
Okay. A friend of mine just asked me a question in private. He wants to know, was this project in development before by another team and taken over by a new one? I don't know why he asked this, but
Kind of was, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, yeah. Did you want to answer that one? Or do you want-
Yeah, unprepared, I guess, for the popularity and the community that sprung up around it. But UA Fabrica definitely saw the value in that and has taken over and brought a strong
Okay.
team and brought that initial angel investment as well. So yeah.
Okay. And now with the next question, it was about Unreal Engine. You have used Unreal Engine. Why did you choose it, despite the burden of paying royalties? And have you used any presets, or everything is designed in-house?
Yeah, look, we're in the process of building out the Unreal Engine, and that's going to come end of the year anyway. In regards to royalties, that's going to be an interesting one because, I mean, look, technically speaking, the game is an RPC, not a it's the Unreal Engine is just a front end. So yeah, but look, we see the value that Unreal Engine brings in terms of that that graphics capability, and we would be silly not to utilize that, especially with the metaverse, especially with the metaverse moving forward.
Okay.
Hope that
That's
answers
perfect.
that. Yep.
Yeah, it answers perfectly. We go with the next questions. I think we're gonna do two more questions, and I think we can wrap it up there. When will be the beta version be out for trying? Also, are there plans for a renting mechanism? Yeah, about
Sort of
the
covered that.
scholarships.
Yeah.
You already covered that one, so
Yeah.
there's going to be scholarships, but the beta version, if you want to,
This is like
talk
5
about
questions.
Yeah. That's a few questions in one. I mean, look, the beta version is coming out Monday, I believe. Till.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, look, we believe the beta will be stood up Monday or Tuesday, I would imagine, at this point. Obviously, we're going to launch with Plutonians Labs, and then that game will be out very shortly.
We really want that community feedback. So
Yeah.
please do check out the labs and get involved. We're really looking for that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, look, yeah, it gives an
I
opportunity.
forgot the other 5 questions.
The other ones, I think we answered most of those. Do you want to pop them back up again, Sebastian, if you don't mind, please? Just to see if we miss out anything.
There was something about the RPC and PLD holders, if they are going to be
renting
whitelisted.
ships.
Yeah.
And the whitelisting. Yeah.
Yeah, you can rent out ships, and will PLD holders get whitelisted for any? Oh, interesting. Look, I guess in regards to our INOs that we'll have coming up in March, we haven't really. Well, look, that's a great question, and definitely something that we will take offline and talk in the team meeting tomorrow because we're having a quick one. But I was going to say
maybe PLD holders might get airdrops? ?
Yeah. Look, definitely for our INO launches, obviously dependent on who our market partner or our partner is, that's going to whether or not we're going to launch it on our own NFT marketplace or use someone else in the Solana ecosystem to also do it. I think that's a really good question, and I'd love to answer it in the next few days and circle back.
Yeah, that's a nice answer.
It's a really good one.
We've got some really exciting stuff for you guys. So definitely, stay tuned.
Also, this guy is always here. We love him.
Okay.
Rajesh asked, would there be any PvP mode, and can we fight with ships? And I will add myself. If we do a PvP fight and we lose, does our ship get destroyed?
That's a good question.
Good question. I think we kind of touched on that earlier in terms of like disabling. I think what we again, this is the kind of community feedback that we want because we take it back to the team and it gets built. So we are working on multiplayer, but we want the game servers to be performant enough for it to make sense as well. And also we're pushing the limits in terms of, for example, how the game world is broken up into different servers so that we can kind of have a unified experience rather than kind of different lobbies when it comes to that. In terms of PvP, I think we definitely want to have maybe a mix. So obviously, if you're trying to skill up, you don't want to be losing a valuable ship every time. But then again, if you want to show off your skills, then maybe you do want to play for keeps.
Yeah, that's quite understandable, and it happens most of the time. So I think I kind of want to do one more question or two. Almost all crypto games currently created will die out at some point in the futures. Will Plutonians be finished once it's launched, or will it continue evolving in regards of graphics, gameplay, etc.?
Well, that's a good question, because once we launch, we're not launched. So
yeah,
we have to continue. But look, it's a good question. I think no one has kept honest to their promises to deliver on really desirable gameplay. And anyone that has stood up games so far have been really less than desirable. Look, any game studio can come out and say, we really plan to, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fill that void where the game changes. And look, we truly believe we are. We do have a fully capable team of executing on all the deliverables. And one of those deliverables, and the key deliverable is a game. It's not an NFT marketplace. It's a playable game and a desirable game to play. I guess, with our internal tool set that we'll be pushing out to the public as well, it makes it even a little bit more desirable and sticky as well. We want it to have shelf life, and we believe that having that community engagement that will allow us to actually let them also usher in expansions of their own, etc., assets, game storylines, etc. I think
I'd personally love to see. I'd love to see the community build a totally new game in the with Plutonians, with the tool set. That's the game I want to play. But yeah, we're excited for. I think it's more of a launch year than like traditional studios, which is like launch date and see you later. Like, okay, cool. See you in the next expansion pack, I guess, maybe. We really want to keep it rolling, and that's why we're doing the labs as well. So players can get a bit closer to the studio.
Okay, so I think we can finish it here. Thank you for joining, Tillmann, James. It has been a pleasure. I'm just gonna say something about the IGO. It's going to be on Solana. There are two different tokens, PRD and RPC. And the allocation, there's the private sale that happened yesterday, and the IGO that is happening right now. So it's going to be the TGE for the private sale. It's going to be 5%, then linear for 18 months for both tokens. And for the IGO, it's going to be 15% at TGE and 17th monthly. And also, we're going to post a trailer right now after we end. And I think that's it. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Hit the like and subscribe. And if James, Tillmann, you want to say anything, it's your time. If not, we can just wrap it up here.
I'll drop that. We'll drop that roadmap in the group shortly after this as well. So it's something I just spun up quickly just in case people don't have the light paper link, and then I'll also drop the light paper link in there as well, so people can have a look at that as well.
Okay, so thank you. Hope to see you in the future. And bye-bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Ciao.
See you next time.
Have a nice day.
Bye. Ciao.
They always said the sky is the limit, making us wonder what was out there, questioning the possibility of finding life beyond our boundaries. When the blockchain was created, no one realized that a gift crafted by alien minds had been seeded in our midst. Our leaders sought to control it, to limit its potential, despite humanity being on the precipice of an intergalactic awakening. Today, as the Interplanetary Union seeks to dominate the 8 planets of our solar system. Life on other planets and galaxies is no longer a mystery. It's a fact, and life as we've known it will never be the same. Like all superpowers, the Interplanetary Union has its own agenda. One that seeks to suppress the truth and control the masses. But with this threat comes an opposing force, one that fights for truth and freedom in our solar system. The universe knows no boundaries, full of life and potential that go far beyond our imagination. It's time to wake up and defy the limits imposed on us, to explore new worlds and the vast possibilities beyond our solar system. An infinite realm of galaxies awaits your arrival.